Hi viewers, welcome to Blood Test. Today we're going to discuss about what are the basic things required to run a laboratory on a daily basis. So there are some important things that has to be in your laboratory to run it on a daily basis. So what are they? Let's go into the topic. So a patient walks in. Once a patient walks in, you have to collect the details of your patient and you have to put the billing also. So you need a good computer with a printer along with a Wi-Fi connection in your reception area. So all these are there, and along with that, how are you going to register the patient? How are you going to have the details of the patient for a long time? That can be done with the help of the laboratory information software or the LIS. So make sure you have a computer with LIS software. There are many LIS softwares available in the market. You can procure any one of them on a subscription basis, and you can have that in your laboratory. So if you are taking a franchisee, it would be coming with an LIS inbuilt NIS. If you're not having a franchisee, you're building your own laboratory, you have to have a subscription with one of the LIS softwares. This would cost you around 5,000 per month. So a computer with an LIS software and a printer and a Wi-Fi connection are needed in the reception area. So once this is all done, you may send the patient to the phlebotomy or the blood collection area. So what are the things that has to be there that are a must in the phlebotomy room? So first, the technician has to wear gloves. So once this is done, you need alcohol wipes to wipe the area of the phlebotomy. So once this is done, you need to have two types of syringes. One is a 2 ml syringe and the other one is a 5 ml syringe. So once you have, what are the difference between this 2 ml and the 5 ml syringe? When you're taking only a glucose sample, a 2 ml syringe is enough. But you're going to take a list of tests, you need a 5 ml syringe, so that you needn't prick 2 or 3 times with the 2 ml syringe. So a must of having 2 ml syringes and 5 ml syringes adequately in your phlebotomy room. Apart from that, you need to have various sets of test tube. So you have, for example, you have a EDTA tube, you have a glucose tube, and you have the red tube for the serum collection. So these three are the most mandatory tubes you need to have in your phlebotomy room. So I have an adequate number, minimum of 50 to 100. And then for doing phlebotomy, you also need this thing. This is for, for the vein to be visible properly. And then apart from that, you need to have also band-aids. Small round plasters are available. So after phlebotomy is done, wipe it thoroughly so that no blood is seen with the cotton swab, and then put a band-aid for all your patients. A small round plaster is available. You can procure that and keep. So now the phlebotomy is done. So after this, what you have to do? You have to send the patient for urine routine. If the patient has a urine test to be done, you send the patient for urine. So you need to have urine containers also in your phlebotomy room. If the patient has a culture test to be done, then you have to have culture container, urine culture container, which is a sterile container, which will come with a plastic bag, like plastic cover in it. So a patient needs to do other cultures like a throat swab culture or ear culture. You also need to have this swab stick with you. This is also a sterile a medium. So you need to have all these things in your phlebotomy room. So now the phlebotomy is done. So what next? You would store the samples and the all the urine samples and the blood samples in a room. So first, all the blood samples, most of the blood samples need to be centrifuged. So you need to have a centrifuge machine in your laboratory. There are various capacities of centrifuge. So according to your laboratory size and the sample size, you can procure which centrifuge would be better for you. And you need to centrifuge the needed samples. For example, the serum samples and all needs to be centrifuged. So you centrifuge the samples and keep it aside for doing the biochemistry test. And what do you do with the urine samples? So for the urine samples, for urine routine, the most commonly test asked for with the urine sample is the urine routine. So you need to have a microscope to see there are pustules or not. So apart from the centrifuge, you also need to have a good binocular microscope. The microscope would be costing you around 10,000 to 12,000. That range is enough if you have a normal pathology lab. If you're going to procure a pathologist or a microbiologist, then you have to invest in a good microscope, which is going to be costing around 25,000, which has, a inbuilt battery setup and all. So this is about the microscope. Apart from that, what all is needed in a clinical pathology in a basic laboratory setup? Even if you have a small your own laboratory, what are the other things needed in your clinical pathology? You have such rapid test kits. This is a malaria test kit. Like this, you have many rapid test kits which will be useful for your daily laboratory practice. And then you need to have the blood grouping seras with you, because like the glucose sample, even a blood grouping is a most common test asked for in every setup. For example, a patient wants to get the driving license, he needs to know the blood group for applying the driving license. So these are some of the most common tests you can get in a daily basis for the laboratory practice. So have the rapid test kits, and then you have the blood grouping sera, and the most important thing, you have a Leishman stain with you to do the peripheral smear, and you have a glass slides with you. Glass slides and the cover slips are most needed for seeing the urine routine, for seeing any organism is there or not. For the stool routine you need a glass slide, and also for the peripheral smear you need a urine routine. Apart from that, for many things you need this glass slides to be there if you're going to procure a microbiologist or a pathologist to associate themselves with in your laboratory. So for different methods, for different tests, you'll be needing glass slides and cover slips. So I have good glass slides. Like good companies are there, some bad companies are there in which the slide itself is very refractile. So choose what glass slide company you're going to buy, and buy good glass slides, and prefer not using it again and again. Many government colleges and government setups reuse the glass slides in which you'll be having very bad quality. You don't know whether you're seeing a puzzle or a dust particle. So better avoid reusing the glass slides. They are not going to be they're not going to pull off your packet and going to spend much on the glass slides. They are very cheap for a laboratory practice. You can procure good company glass slides and cover slips for your laboratory setup. Apart from this, you need to have a basic reagents in your laboratory. The most basic test is a glucose test and seeing the hemoglobin. If you're not having a CBC counter, if you're not having a 3-part or a 5-part CBC machine, you need to definitely have a HB reagent which can be run in the biochemistry machine itself, and you can give a hemoglobin report. And apart from that, you need to have the glucose reagent. And for the renal function test, the basic reagents you need is the urea and creatinine reagent. For the liver function test, you need to have the bilirubin reagents, the total and the direct. Apart from that, you need to have SGOT, SGPT, alkaline phosphatase, total albumin, and you need to have also the GGT. These are some of the basic reagents in the liver function test which you need to have in your laboratory. And for the lipid function test, you need to have the cholesterol kit, the triglyceride kit, and other kits like the calcium and all you can go for, which are basic those are the basic tests asked for by most of the practitioners. So have these basic reagents in your laboratory also. And I think have given you a glimpse of what is needed to set up a basic laboratory, what are the things needed. So make sure you have all these things in your laboratory to have a smooth running of your laboratory on a day-to-day basis. If you have any queries, you can definitely write to us in the comment section below. You can also mail us your queries if you want to start up a laboratory. Our mail ID is pathlabstartup@gmail.com. If you want to speak to us, you can share your number either in the mail ID given or in the comment section below. Our team will call back and speak to you and clear all your doubts, and also help you in regards of setting up a laboratory. If you also want a franchisee, we can also discuss in that matter what franchisee you can take and how to set up the franchisee. So this is about today's blood test topic. We'll see you tomorrow with another topic. See you. Bye-bye. Hi viewers, we have another exciting news for you. We are in Clubhouse and we have started a club for diagnostic business discussions. Join us this Monday evening at 5 p.m. for discussions. The details are given below. Thank you and see you at the Clubhouse.